And welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that Chevy has the most wins in the Coke 600 with 25? They have won it in 1960, 1978 through 1980, 1983, 1985, 1986, 1987, 1989, 1992 through 1995, 1997, 1998, 2003 to 2005, 2007, 2011, 2014, 2017, and most recently last season with Kyle Larson. So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Pop Fan 101, with my good friend and co-host, Christian, aka Savage NASCAR.
What's up, everybody?
So first off, before we begin the podcast tonight, I would just like to say we are very sorry for not uploading last weekend at Kansas. Basically, in short summary, the race was pretty good in all three series, so congratulations to the winners, especially Kurt Busch. But let's get down to talking about All-Star Weekend here at Texas. But we also got the other two lower series to talk about. All right, so now let's kick it off for the truck race. This was an okay race for Texas standards, I'd say. Congratulations to Stuart Friesen. That was pretty cool to see him win his first win in like 3 years, almost 3 years, which is pretty crazy. Pretty underrated driver. Carson Hocevar, again, very close to getting a win, but he just did not have the speed that he's had in the recent races. And he almost got turned around by John Hunter Nemechek in the final restart, if you could look at it.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but just too hard of a push.
The big tire spin by Friesen, but he recovered from it. He's going to get down into turn one side by side with our leader.
Oh, Nemechek really a big shove to the 42. Hocevar got him sideways, and Eckes on the outside. Friesen on the inside for the lead and the win, potentially.
Quarter tight. 42's coming with you.
Down into three. Friesen by a nose. Eckes coming around the top side. The white flag is out. Final lap.
Who's it going to be? What a battle for the lead here.
Friesen got it. The door. Stuart Friesen down the backstretch. Can Eckes make another run at him? Friesen goes to the bottom to protect. Eckes taking a look. Through turn four. Stuart Friesen is going to win at Texas.
But overall, pretty solid race. Not really too much to add on it. So taking a look at what you guys had to say.
One thing I will say, I think you and Cam, one of y'all two picked Hunter Nemechek to win. I picked Hocevar to win.
Yeah,
but
both
Friesen,
Nemechek.
Yeah, Friesen, like, I didn't expect him to win because he had been struggling over the past two seasons. And, yeah, he definitely, it's good to see him, I guess, get back allow it. Okay, it's late. I forgot what I was going to say. But back in the record book, I should say, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, back in the winner's column. So 50% of you said good and 50% of you said mess/okay. Henry24257 says, some good racing, but nothing to write home about. 4 out of 10. Driver's day. I'm going to give it to Stuart Friesen. He was a pretty dominant force. He had a very fast truck. Made a lot with his truck. So, Stuart Friesen. All right. So now let's take a look at the Xfinity race. This was an okay race. I didn't really get a chance to watch a lot of it because we had to prepare for stuff in case some people came over. But from what I did see, the racing looked pretty good. I wish I could have watched it. There were a lot of wrecks this weekend in all three series. Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs, they had a big wreck.
Oh. And look at this. Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson involved.
Here it is. And then I believe the winner of the race, I forgot who it was again. Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick got the first win for Big Machine Racing. That's pretty cool. It was a Cup 1-2, if I am correct, with William Byron and Tyler Reddick, and I am correct. I picked William Byron to win. I was the only one to pick the Cup driver for the Xfinity race. So sucks that I got my pick close, but it is what it is. Reddick, congratulations to him getting his first win for this small team. And it is pretty cool to see these smaller teams getting these wins, even if it's with these Cup drivers.
True. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I didn't expect Tyler Reddick to win the Xfinity race. It's been a minute since he has. But it was cool to see him get the win with the new team. And it was even better to see Ty Gibbs getting wrecked twice. So isn't that always fun? But no, Braxton, my pick, he got taken out. So that kind of sucked. But other than that, I thought the Xfinity, from what I saw, was just a crash fest. I didn't see any of the races this weekend. But yeah, I heard there's just a lot of wrecks for the Xfinity race, and it's a mess. I'll say that. Texas Motor Speedway is kind of chaos now.
I gotta agree with that. So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 50% of you said good, and 50% of you said mess. That's okay. Henry24257 says lots of wrecks and good racing where there wasn't wrecks. 8 out of 10. No driver of the day. Let's see. Sam Mayer, he finished third. He was doing pretty good in the race, I think. I mean, again, I was watching it, but I also was like off doing other things. So I do remember Justin Allgaier had a very fast car. He was up in the front a lot. So I'll give it to Justin Allgaier.
I mean, that's a good selection. Mayer, as we've mentioned over the last couple episodes or so, Mayer has just definitely improved compared to last season. Last season he was wrecking about every week. This season he's been up in the top 10 almost every race, which is huge improvements. Junior Motorsports has been on their game this season in the Xfinity Series, and the driver day, this is for me, it's Reddick. I mean, I don't know who else I would pick for that, to be honest with you, but Byron got second, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But I guess now we move on to the Cup race, the chaotic and horrible All-Star race that it was.
Well, race is, because we also got to talk about the Open. All-Star Open has been the worst race this season this far. I mean, there is nothing to say about it. If you were first, congratulations, you were most likely winning the race, because it was, first off, it's so hard to pass. Texas is not a good track. I'm sorry. I know NASCAR is going to keep it because they want to stay somewhere in the South because they're moving away from a lot of the South. But please, they should get rid of Texas. It is not a good track. If the car that is supposed to make the racing more competitive can't make the racing competitive, then it's the track's problem.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried everything. They've tried putting stuff on the track. They've tried the new car. Nothing's working with this race. And the track owner said that people like to complain. He's not wrong. People do like to complain a lot. But he's taking into account of people who go to a race. I would personally like to go to any race, whether it be a boring track or one of the better tracks in NASCAR, and I'll still have a good time because it's great to see all the cars going around. It's great to smell the fuel and the tires and watch all the pre-race festivities live in person with no commercials and be around other NASCAR fans. So, of course, they're going to give it a good rating, and I hear Texas is great when it comes to hospitality, but outside of, like, when you're watching at home, nobody cares. It's boring. Both races on Sunday night were boring. I don't know even what to say about the Open because there was just nothing to talk about. I mean, yeah, we got Chris Buescher. He won a stage. That's pretty cool. Ricky Stenhouse surprised me by winning a stage. And the only pick I got right for the stages, I picked I picked Reddick, Austin Dillon, and Daniel Suarez. And I only got one of the picks right. And Eric Jones winning the fan vote. I was a little shocked at first, but then I realized, oh wait, he drives the 43. So I don't know what to say about the All-Star Open. That was a 0 out of 10.
Facts.
The All-Star race.
Hold on, I gotta say something real quick about the Open. I picked Corey LaJoie to win the fan vote just because I know that he has a good bit of fans, but I thought Jones was going to get in through finishing second because I don't know what the format is now, but I know Jones definitely I thought was going to get in by either finishing second or first. And I had picked, I think, Busher to go into the All-Star race by winning the Open. So, yeah, I mean, I have to say this real quick. This has been the least, like, I was so unhyped, or I should say, this is the least amount of enthusiasm I've had going into an All-Star weekend last week. I was just not interested at all. And that's rare because I love NASCAR. I love stock car racing. But going into this weekend, I did not care. This is the first time I've never cared about a race weekend in NASCAR, which is pretty bad. I know the All-Star race, they try to make it interesting, but it's not. It's a joke. They need to fix things. I mean, first off, Texas Speedway shouldn't host an All-Star race. The All-Star race should stay in Charlotte or it should go somewhere else. It didn't work at Bristol. It didn't work in Texas. I know SMI wants the All-Star race to be on one of their tracks, but it has not been working. And the format is absolutely crap. I hate I know I'm getting into a little bit right here, but it is garbage. And they just need to go back to the way it was. To be honest with you, I mean, the last good All-Star race that I can recall was either 2009 or 2010, which was a long time ago. They need to fix this. And yes, a lot of people have overreacted. A lot of people are angry. You know, it is what it is. NASCAR fan base is one of the most angry and most passionate fan bases in sports. So I'm not surprised a lot of people were complaining and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I was pretty upset too. That from what I've heard, because I didn't care to watch it. I feel bad for those that did watch it.
I mean, I can agree with a lot of your points, Christian. For starters, I was still excited because I look forward to watching NASCAR on the weekends. It's my favorite sport, so I'll watch it, you know, no matter the race. But this race was bad. I completely agree. I don't know why the race is at Texas, of all places. I mean, I guess because it's big and it holds a lot of fans. I don't know. I mean, Charlotte is literally the home of NASCAR. I don't know why you wouldn't have it at Charlotte. It just doesn't make sense to me why it's at Texas, but whatever. The format is definitely garbage. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I just don't have an opinion on it. I just watch it just to watch it. But about the race itself, it was better than the Open for sure. The Open was absolutely crap. I would say another word, but I don't want to. Just nothing really too exciting besides a couple of battles. There was that big wreck with Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain. It was very, very scary. Here it is.
On Fox, Kyle Busch.
Whoa! That was big. Got loose off the corner. Had to get completely out of the gate. Oh, he's got right rear fire. Right rear down. Huge wreck. So Austin as Chastain hit him. Turns Chase Elliott around in a wall.
And totals Chase Elliott's car.
Well, you saw it. He had a big time wiggle off of 4. That thing, saw him get out of the gas. The flames came out of both sides. And then Chastain absolutely nails him on the front straightaway, turning into the 9. What a wreck. What a change of events.
Just like that. Chase Elliott had flown up through the field. He says he's okay. And so is Chastain, but those cars are junk.
Well, Kyle Larson, you just said it's the 18s to lose, and unfortunately, man, you jinxed him. That's exactly what happened. This race has turned upside down now.
Now, some people on the NASCAR Onboards account that me and Christian run, which, by the way, go follow that if you haven't already, NASCAR_onboards.
Yeah.
Some people were saying that wreck was not scary. I don't
Honestly,
know. How would you feel if you were driving in a car at 191 miles an hour and you see another car and you have no time to avoid it and you go over on your side? Think about that.
now I will say this. I feel like people overreacted a little bit about the wreck, but yes, I could see where it can be scary because Bush came down the track. Chastain did stop. I mean, he had there when you're in a car. If for some of these delusional fans, they think they could have avoided that. No,
Right.
no, you couldn't have avoided that. I mean, you're traveling 180, 170 down the front stretch, and Kyle Busch just comes down the track right in front of you to blow a tire. You either have three options. You're either going to run them like flat in the back of the car, you're going to go through the grass and maybe lose it and hit the inside wall, or you're going to swerve back to the right and take out like 5 cars. And Chastain just chose the one of the options to go into the left, and it is what it is. And that was definitely a crazy impact, I was saying, and Chase Elliott got caught up in that as well. So it was unfortunate, but you know, that was the only crazy moment about the All-Star race. Yes, Kyle Larson also blew a tire and hit the wall, but
As you saw, Kyle Larson brought out the caution on lap 37. He did not change tires when everybody else stopped and hit the wall in turn 4, and it was a big hit. Watch the 5 right of your screen.
Yes, it was. Big hit. Those right side impacts like that rattle you.
Yeah, when it goes straight like that, that's definitely a right front issue.
Here's their radio.
Yeah, I blew right front.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it was big, but I'm fine.
other than that, there was like barely any passing from what I heard, and I heard that once a leader would get away, no one else would pass. So
Right.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it was similar to the Open, but it was better because there was a little bit more battling than there was in the Open. Like the Open had like maybe like a couple battles, but this race there was more battles. Now for the part that's really grinding everybody, including myself's gears. The Ryan Blaney incident. So
Trying to get this thing around here as fast as possible for that very reason.
That's it. Let's end it now. Car in the wall, back straightaway, no problem. He's the last car in line, Ryan Blaney. Caution. The caution flag waved.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say.
I do, but I won't.
I just don't see him making gains on getting that window net refastened.
I'd hold on to it. It says it's got to be up. It's just too bad.
You know what you can do. We're trying to talk to somebody about it. They should definitely let us put it up.
Vince?
Yeah, Ryan just came over the radio and said, I cannot get it back in myself. And I think Larry made a great point. We've all seen the window net put up, and it's usually the biggest, strongest crew member that actually attaches it and fastens it. So from inside, and Clint, you can speak to this, from inside the car, it's almost impossible to get done, and that's why Ryan can't get it reattached.
The rules require that the driver be able to release the window net from inside the car. Nothing about having to be able to attach it.
Well, let me get back into that. I said, you know, you want that window net as tight as possible for safety reasons. It's there for a reason to keep, you know, your extremities and everything inside the race car. That being said, it's also
around the roll bar, Ryan.
aero,
And hold it
right?
up
You
that
need
way.
that car to be tight and to keep that efficiency down the side of it.
So he's got to try to do this, and remember, he has to maintain caution car speed while doing this. Otherwise, he'll forfeit the lead.
And Mike, you said something earlier. Special event, special circumstances, special rules. I know the rule is he has to stay on the racetrack. He has to maintain caution car speed. But personally, that's me personally, I think they ought to let that man refasten that window net.
I agree. But I don't think they're going to.
Christian, I know you didn't watch any of the races. That's why he's not really saying his opinion on the races and just saying his own opinion on certain stuff. But so for context, Christian, Ryan won the race fair and square. And what happened was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had just brushed the wall slightly. I'm not entirely sure how bad the impact was, but he hit the wall. And NASCAR called the caution. Now, there was a rule which is very, very, very stupid. And I didn't hear about it until I talked about it with fans after the race and during the race, which was the race had to be ended under green, which doesn't make any sense. Because in the real NASCAR rulebook, there is nothing that says the race has to end under green. The race can end under caution, or if they have to go into overtime, it ends in the checkered and yellow flag. We've seen that several times. And for example, the 2015 Daytona 500. I don't understand. I was thinking, okay, you know what? It's going to be like normal NASCAR. They get to the white, the next flag ends the race.
Yeah, exactly.
No, all of a sudden, like, I'm pumped for Ryan because I like Ryan Blaney. He's one of my favorite drivers. And then all of a sudden, I hear that he might not get his win. And then he opened his window net, which is a natural reaction if you win the race. You want to open your window net because you think the race is over. You want to pump your fists for the fans, whatever. And Ryan was told, hey, man, we got to go back racing. So Ryan is sitting there for like 5 pace laps, let's just say 5 pace laps, trying to get his window net open or closed while at the same time wheeling the car. And they were just pacing back and forth. And NASCAR eventually said, screw it, you can run the race. But fortunately, Ryan won the race, even with the open window net, thanks to Austin Cindric.
Dude, that sounds like a joke to me.
It is.
That's weird. That is so weird. So usually for races like the go white flag, of course, caution should end the race. But I guess for the All-Star race, they're like, oh yeah, it has to end under green, even though it's the white flag.
Right.
We have to make it entertaining to have a crazy finish, which there wasn't a good finish from what I heard either.
Here we go.
Got a lot of help behind him with his teammate, Austin Cindric, pushing him to the lead. That's exactly what he needs. Don't let that 11 get to your outside. He's up. Cindric might get a run on the bottom.
Whoa, Blaney cleared Hamlin, but by inches.
Needs those cars racing side by side behind him and has it.
By 3. Still side by side. 11 got cleared up top.
White flag again.
Come on, baby. Bring this thing around.
Cindric giving the 11 all Hamlin can handle.
Well, Hamlin got a great run off turn 2 that time down the back straightaway.
Hamlin
Wide open trying.
within 3 car lengths, closing. Here they come to the line. The track is green. The checkered flag waves. Ryan Blaney wins the All-Star race.
Thank gosh that.
Exactly. It was
I
typical.
mean, and plus Blaney, I think I saw something about Hamlin whining on Twitter about it afterwards too.
Yeah.
Hamlin, just shut up. You've complained enough this year. We're tired of your antics. We're tired of JGR's antics this year. I mean, allow it, okay? Blaney he took down his window net. Back then, they would do that even during cautions. They wouldn't get in trouble. So why are you over here complaining? I don't get it. I mean, yes, it was $1 million race, but also it's not the highest paying win you could get on the schedule. That is the Daytona 500. They need to up the money pay for the All-Star race as well. They need to up it to like $5 million.
Interesting.
So we'll
take,
actually get good racing.
that is an interesting take. But yeah, it was a joke. I thought it was a joke when I saw Ryan Blaney not, like, they said that he had to race it back, because what if Denny Hamlin passed him? Ryan Blaney won that race fair and square. He had the fastest car after Chastain and Busch, who both of them had the fastest cars up until that point. He won the race fair and square. And I was thinking, if he loses this race because of this BS by NASCAR, it would be the biggest joke I've ever seen as a motorsports fan.
Yeah.
And it is up there. It's ridiculous. And Hamlin complaining, I'm not surprised. Hamlin wanted to win the race, of course, like everybody else, and he thinks NASCAR should have black flagged Blaney. But then he started complaining like that they should have put him in pit road, which I can agree with more. They should have let him go to the pits so he could get the window net shut, and then they should have made him retain first for the restart. So I don't know what to say about it really. It's all a joke. I don't understand. That was probably the worst All-Star race I've ever watched. Probably the worst All-Star race in history, and we'll be talking about that for years to come. All-Star race, I give it a 2 out of 10. Worst race of the season. Besides
yeah, it's got to be a 1 out of 10 or something like that. But yeah, we will have some memes though to talk about for the All-Star race. I'm sure you all, if y'all follow meme accounts, have seen plenty of them, and we have a couple we'd like to share. Mike, what is some of your favorite memes from this weekend?
Well, first off, let me see what the people have to say.
Oh, I forgot about that. Sorry.
14% said
we forget about y'all.
14% said good, 29% said meh / okay, and 57% of you said bad. None of them said great. Nobody. Henry24257 says bad tires, bad officiating. NASCAR has a lot of work to do. Terrible track like Texas. 2 out of 10. Agreed.
Agreed.
Never mind. Open was good. No, it was not. But okay, Henry.
Wait, what?
So I put both like the Open and the All-Star race together, so that way, like, you know, people can answer for both since it's 2 separate races. And he thought he was answering for the Open, but he's right. Dan's _ diecast says the racing was terrible. Nobody could pass anybody. Agreed. Driver of the day, Cindric. If Kyle Busch did not wreck, I would give it to him, but I'll give it to Ryan Blaney.
I was gonna say Kyle Busch. Just kidding. I picked him to win and he wrecked. But the driver today is not a driver, it's the tires. They really did show a lot of performance out there on the track. And they were just out there just obliterating into thousands of pieces and causing absolute chaos. And I'm sure a bunch of 9-year-olds enjoyed seeing all those blowing tires and wrecking.
No. They don't deserve to get praised. They deserve to be known as the clown of the week. Maybe the clown of the season.
Yeah, I was trolling, by the way. But yeah, the tires are definitely the clown of the race for sure.
No, clown of the season. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right. So now let's take a look at the meme of the week. These are some of my favorite memes. I picked, I think I have 4 here. Yeah. So the first one is this one. So for context, this one is telling the truth. Just the All-Star race is not good. That's it. That's the meme. Then this one. So for context of that, crapping on Goodyear, per usual, and this is fairly accurate. People bash each other for their favorite driver, but yet everybody can unite to hate on these Goodyear tires. I really hope that they switch the tires next year to somebody who could actually make a one lug nut tire. And then this one is very accurate. And then finally, this one. For context, this is literally how the racing was.
Yeah, I think those are definitely great memes. But personally, my favorite meme of the weekend, I saw this because I follow him. Tremendation's meme where Noah Gragson was he had just got wrecked and he was just sliding across the track. Is like the reference from Cars.
Don't take me out, coach. I can still race.
Oh, I could still race. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, that one had me dying laughing. That's one of the funniest ones I've seen this year, no doubt.
Interesting. I'll check that out later. All right, guys, so the next part of the video that you are about to see was filmed last year for Nasboys episode 23. This is top 10 Coke 600 moments made by Savage NASCAR. Here it is in the video. Okay, guys, sorry we didn't get to this in the video, but here it is now. Christian was very busy, but luckily he found the time to do it. This is top 10 Coca-Cola 600 moments. Coming in at number 10 is Tony Stewart becoming the first driver to complete all 1,100 miles of the Coke 600 and the Indy 500.
Man, and run 2 races. I'm fit enough to do it. I proved that. And I'm sharp enough to do it mind-wise. So, I felt like that we did everything the right way. We learned so much from what we did in '99, and we did a lot of things right then, but there were some things that we did do wrong. And we took the things that we did right and tried to make them even better, and took the things that we did wrong and tried to make them right. And we had enough resources and enough people to make sure that it was all done the right way this time. A lot of people doubted that I could do it and thought I was putting people in danger, but at the end of the race, I was just as sharp as I was at the beginning of it, and only the doctors and I know whether I'm sharp enough to do that.
Y'all waiting on me to collapse, ain't gonna happen.
To be able to go to Indy and to be competitive and lead laps again up there, and with the exception of the driver making a couple bad calls, we had a shot at winning that race, and that's what we went there for. We wanted to win, but to finish on the lead lap and finish 6th was better than we finished 2 years ago when we finished 9th. To come down to Charlotte and start last and make the mistake I made in the opening laps and spin and go back to the back and have the guys have to fix the front of the car. I mean, everybody worked really hard during that race, and to fight our way back to the front and be a contender at the end and to finish 3rd, I mean, we were really happy with that. So, to complete all 1,100 miles, that was really, that's what really made me happy.
He finished 6th in the Indy 500 and 3rd in the Coke 600, with Jeff Burton getting the win. In at number 9 is Benny Parsons and Darrell Waltrip battling for the win.
Both trying to work out who's going to be where and exactly when on the last lap. A lot of it depends on the lap traffic, which they obviously can't forecast.
Parsons again to the inside, almost on the lawn, and again, Waltrip is able to hold him off.
And they're coming up to some lap traffic.
Last 2 laps. They take a look at that lap traffic for sure. It's like a chess game. You have to know where those lap cars are to make your move.
Benny Parsons down the inside.
And almost had a shoulder Waltrip out of the way.
Darrell Waltrip tried to keep Benny out, but it wasn't going to be, and they're coming up on those lap cars now as they come out of turn 4.
It could get very physical here at the finish. Parsons in front, Waltrip in second as they drive it out. White flag is out.
To go.
This is it. The crowd screaming. It is Benny Parsons in front. Darrell Waltrip trying to come for his 3rd win of this race. He's behind as they go to turn 2. Back straight away. Parsons holding Waltrip off. Here they go for turn 3. The last lap. 377,000.
Darrell tries to go low.
Waltrip is finding the inside. He pulls up. He's inching along. They're into lap cars. Waltrip goes back to the outside. Parsons is blocking it at the line. Benny Parsons does it. Benny Parsons has upset the odds makers today. They said he couldn't do it. Parsons has pulled it off. Waltrip settling for 2nd. Listen to this crowd. All day they've waited through the rainstorms. One of the slowest 600s, but one of the most dramatic.
Both of them had finished on the lead lap, and they were the only 2 cars to. The race was 7 hours long. Benny and Darrell had swapped the lead multiple times in the final laps, with Benny eventually passing him with 2 laps to go to get the win, denying Darrell of his 3rd straight Coke 600 win. In at number 8 is Casey Mears getting his first career win.
Stewart, Edger, drives his motor coach.
I'd be wearing that ring. I'd want him to tell me where everybody is and what I got to do.
His mom, Carol, runs his fan club and handles some of his business interests. It's a true racing family.
White flag in
the
the
Mears
air.
gang. Baker's Bakersfield, California.
He's going to do it.
Roger, Rick, now Casey. All he needs is a gallon of gas.
He doesn't even need that. He just needs fumes. That's all he needs.
Yaley second. Kyle Petty third. Reed Sorensen, Brian Vickers.
No pressure, and he has got it made. He can coast. He can coast from there.
For the National Guard, Casey Mears is going to win his first Nextel Cup race, the Coke 600.
Good for him. All right.
Becomes the fourth Hendrick car driver to win this.
Look at Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty gets a third.
And J.J. Yaley finishes second, by far his best ever Nextel Cup outing.
What a finish. Way to go, guys. That was exciting.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah! Thank you, National Guard. I am out.
He's out of gas. That's okay.
Yeah. Unbelievable job, guys. Unbelievable job. Man, thank you guys for my first win, man. Thank you.
Two big wrecks had happened earlier in the race, with the most memorable being Jeff Gordon getting airborne.
Oh, trouble again, guys. Got into 24. Yo! Man, Jeff Gordon took a lick.
Yes, he
Jeff
did.
Burton took a lick.
And they're still wrecking Allmendinger, Robbie Gordon.
Boy, I don't feel good about Jeff Gordon at all. That was a hard nose-in lick right there.
Watch the 24 of Gordon, who came in here with the biggest point lead after 11 races anybody's ever had.
Raines just gets loose off 4, and he gets into Jeff, and Jeff about has it saved till he gets out in the grass, and man, he takes a lick, and then watch Allmendinger lift him right off the ground.
I mean, there was nowhere for A.J. Allmendinger at 84 to go.
No, that was...
You know, Jeff Burton in the 31 got very little of that. A little bit of contact on the nose, but...
I think he got a lot of left side damage.
Okay.
At the end, it came down to fuel mileage, as contenders such as Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. had to pit. In the final laps, Casey Mears was driving the 25 for Hendrick, and they captured their first and only Cup win together. J.J. Yaley got a career best second, and Kyle Petty got a third place finish, which was the last top 5 of his career. In at number 7 is Matt Kenseth, becoming the only rookie to win the Coke 600.
Takes the white flag, the final lap of the Coca-Cola 600 in search of his first Winston Cup win.
Moved right down to the bottom of the racetrack, exactly where he ran the lap before. Bobby Labonte is making a run at him, though, on this last lap. All Matt has to do now, though, is not make a mistake.
Final set of corners. Here he comes. Winston Cup win, number 1 in the Coca-Cola 600 for Wisconsin's Matt Kenseth.
And what a race to have your first win at.
We talked about on the final pit stops, track position being so important. Matt Kenseth's team got him track position. Got him up there, just behind Bobby Labonte. They both quickly passed Jeff Gordon, who got 2 tires. Then Kenseth dispensed with Labonte, led the rest of the way to score the victory, his first in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. How about this? 2 straight wins by rookie drivers the Winston Cup season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. a couple of weeks ago at Richmond, Matt Kenseth tonight.
And that says something about the future of this series. They've got some incredibly talented young men.
Well, that just proves one thing. The future in NASCAR is bright. This is the future. These guys. Look at this spin around here. Whoa! Nice. Right through the lettering. Now, that's the best burnout I've ever watched. He didn't use the pavement. He's out in Humpy's grass out there going round and round.
That grass is wet from the rain we had earlier tonight. If he gets stuck, he's sure going to be embarrassed.
He's still spinning him around.
You think it doesn't feel good to win a Winston Cup race?
Oh, hey, that first one is something special. Take my word for it.
In his 18th race, Matt Kenseth goes to victory lane. He led the last 26 laps. Kenseth from Wisconsin also offering the salute to one of his home state heroes, the late Alan Kulwicki, with the old Polish victory lap, the reverse circle around the speedway, and this crowd of 175,000 giving him a salute as well, and well-deserved.
12th race of that season. Another rookie, Dale Jr., led a race high of 175 laps and finished 4th. His father, driving a very colorful paint scheme, got 3rd. Matt Kenseth had held off his teammate, Bobby Labonte, to capture his first career win. In at number 6 is Dale Sr. rebounding from 2 penalties and still winning the race. So it was the first time that the 600 had run under the lights. Ken Schrader was on the pole and finished 4th. Jeff Gordon finished 2nd. Dale had 2 penalties, like I just mentioned, one for intentionally wrecking a car and the other for loose lug nuts. And then he came back from 2 laps down to win. Now, if that doesn't speak GOAT behavior, I don't know what will. In at number 5 is Jimmy Johnson's 3 straight Coke 600 victories. The first one he dominated in 2003, which was unfortunately rain shortened, and in 2004 and 2005. The race saw a record 22 cautions, in that which he edged Bobby Labonte, which is also on the list coming up soon. In at number 4 is David Pearson blowing a tire, but holds to get his first career win with 3 wheels. Now, the race began a streak of 1,856 career races where at least one driver was from North Carolina. Richard Petty was on the pole, blew his engine, and finished 30th. There were 7 cautions, worst being when Red Cagle lost a leg when his car went through a guardrail. In the closing laps, David Pearson blew out a tire and limped across the track, holding off Fireball Roberts for his first career win. I see someone similar to Lightning McQueen there. In at number 3, like I just mentioned, Jimmy Johnson edging out Bobby Labonte.
He's going to have to run 3 more just like it.
No, he's going to have to pick up about 2/10.
Biffle moves up to 6 past Martin Truex, but it's all for the win right here.
Boy, Jimmy Johnson just drives it down there to 3 and 4. Pressure tires to the high side. They'll almost be side by side off turn 4.
Cross under move by Johnson. No room. Labonte blocks him.
2 to go.
Go, man. 2 to go. Be smart.
Be smart. Take your time. You got plenty of time, I think. Easy for me to say.
Boy, Labonte is good at the south end of the speedway.
Boy, that was impressive right there to hold Jimmy off.
They stayed pretty even. Right here's where he got the run the last time. They'll be coming to the white flag this time.
He's going to hold him off, Larry. I think he can do it.
But Johnson is good off turn 4, and if he can get alongside, and Labonte right to the grass to hold him off. Last time.
He can't do it. I don't believe he can do it unless Bobby messes up.
There he goes to the bottom, Darrell. They're going to be side by side off turn 2. Bobby's on the high side.
You can't pass over there. There's no way.
What's that?
One last charge right here, man.
It's all over, boys.
Was that the last best move made
outside.
Too soon?
Here he comes, outside.
Just like in Atlanta last March. He's not going to be able to do it, I don't think. They're side by side.
Here he comes. Jimmy Johnson.
Right in the 48 car.
He did it. 3 in a row, Jimmy Johnson.
By 2/100ths of a second.
I thought when he got beat off of turn 2, it was all over, but he drove it in on the outside and won it.
Boy, was that worth staying up late for, or what?
Incredible.
There were 22 cautions in the race, like I had mentioned earlier. He caught Bobby Labonte and beat him at the line by 0.27 seconds, or 0.27 seconds, to get his 3rd straight 600 win. In at number 2 was Dale Jr. running out of gas in the final turn.
If you don't get to the white flag, we'll try it again.
Number of things you got to watch out for here. Now, you've been riding on the apron. You picked up you got hot tires, you pick up a lot of debris on the tires. Plus, if one of these guys up front here runs out of fuel, look out, field.
Here we go. Casey Kane, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Harvick, Burton, Busch, Edwards, Stewart, Reagan. Green flag. 2 to go.
Boy, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got a great restart.
He's out of gas, and there they go.
And Burton goes around Lot of smoke.
They had a little bit of a wreck back there. No caution.
Keselowski got bounced around, but we are still green. Let's see.
Cars all over the place down here in turns 1 and 2. Not real sure how this is going to work out.
Still no caution, though. We'll be coming to the white flag, Mike.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front.
Can he make it?
White flag. Next flag ends the race. Hamlin trying to close.
Track's clear. We're good to go.
7 back. 7 back.
Harvick third. Reagan fourth. Logano fifth. What a topsy-turvy finish to the Coca-Cola 600.
And Dale Jr. is scooting away. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's slowing, isn't he?
150,000 people on their feet.
Jr. is slowing. He's out of fuel. He's out of gas.
And as at Indy, the leader at turn 4 does not get to the flag. Harvick, the closer, wins it.
Once again, where did he come from?
Golly gee. Have you ever?
No, I have. Once again, never. Are you kidding me?
That just beats all.
Achilles heel. Hell yeah.
Oh, man. How about old Harv?
To sort this out, why don't we start with a replay?
Now, Christian wanted me to point out that this was the first race that he attended. Multiple drivers stayed out, saving fuel on the final restarts. There was a crash in turn 1 with 2 laps to go, but NASCAR didn't throw the caution. Junior was trying to get his first win since 2008, but ran out of fuel, giving Kevin Harvick the win. And in at number 1 is Jeff Gordon's first career win.
Talk about the greats. Fireball Roberts won his first race when he was 21. It was 30 years ago that Fireball lost his life in this race this weekend. Bobby Hillin was 22.
Man, I had to be in there somewhere when I won my first one.
They don't remember back that far. Okay. White flag. 1 to go. Coming around the Daytona 500 winner, Sterling Marlin. Looking up, Jimmy Spencer just in front of him. Boy, this is a moment. He's diving along. Set on the pole at 181.439. He will become only the 5th driver in 35 years to win the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, North Carolina from the pole. Checkers are out, and they are down, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious this evening on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Now it's all or nothing.
You're in good company.
No, they did the right thing. I wouldn't have took a chance on it, but they did.
Earnhardt up to congratulate him.
He's shaking his fist at him. No, not really.
He worked hard, but I'll tell you, he did a good job, and Gordon did it splendidly.
I think everybody knew that he was going to win, just didn't know when.
Well, it's happened here. In this major race of the season, the Coca-Cola 600 belongs to Pittsboro, Indiana's Jeff Gordon with a sensational run in the 35th annual Coca-Cola 600.
Jeff was on pole. Rusty Wallace led the race high of 187 laps, but came up short. 12% of the race was run under yellow. There was a big wreck early in the race after Dale Sr. got into Mark Martin. Jeff Gordon won by 3 seconds, getting his first career win. So that will conclude the top 10 for this week. Now back to the video.
Yeah. Now, before we get into, I guess, talking about the Coca-Cola 600 weekend, there's some things I guess we could talk about too we didn't talk about last week. Kurt Busch and his situation. He won at Kansas, and then all of a sudden, I see on Twitter 2 days later that he's getting a divorce. That took me by surprise. But then again, he's been divorced a couple times. I was just shocked. I was like, he just won the race, and this is happening. What did you think about that, Mike? That threw me off.
I don't have an opinion because it's really his personal life, but I'm sorry that he's getting a divorce. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but man, that's definitely wild. And speaking of wild, Raja Caruth.
Yep.
So I was working a dirt vision race at Millbridge last Wednesday, and Raja Kruth and some other Cup drivers were there. Or Kruth's not a Cup driver, but there was Cup drivers there. If I'm correct, Christopher Bell was there. I know Brandon Jones is usually a regular there. They're racing there this week, and I'm working one of the races tomorrow. But yeah, Raja Kruth was in like 4 wrecks throughout the night. It was a mess. I feel bad for him. But one of the cars, you know, the you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the cars in the 600 sprints, I think it was one of the B mains, he hit Caruth, but kept going straight and went right up the wall and rode the wall and flipped over on its roof. I'm like, bro.
What?
Yeah, it was wild,
Can you
dude.
send that to me if you have a video?
I don't know if I can. I don't think it was ever uploaded to Twitter, but if it was, I would send it to you. But it was just the weirdest thing. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, another thing too. This weekend, a lot of teams are opening their shops for fans to come visit and check out the team stores and the facility and stuff like that, because a lot of them have been closed ever since COVID, and a lot of them have been opening back up this year. So that's really cool. I'm actually going to Junior Motorsports Fan Day on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. And they're not the only team that's doing this this week. I know RFK Racing is, and there's a couple other ones too. So if you all live in the North Carolina area and you want to go to some fan days, make sure to go to that, because I'm sure they definitely would appreciate the support, and they're opening back up. So that's something really cool I thought I'd like to share.
Yeah.
And another thing too, I hate to keep prolonging, but another thing as well, on Friday, May the 27th, they're having the Concord Motor Fest outside, not far from the track at the Morrison Motor Car Museum. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to going to that. There's going to be a lot of classic cars there. I have a good bit of friends that'll be there, people from stock car groups, and there's even some pioneers there as well, NASCAR legends. I don't know every single one of them. I don't have an entry list or anything like that, but I know like the Allisons are going to be there. I know Wada Wilson's going to be there, and maybe even some truck drivers and ARCA drivers from what I heard too. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. But that's all I got to add. Now I guess we talk about the Coca-Cola 600 weekend.
Yeah, so getting into some picks for this weekend's Memorial Day weekend races, kicking it off with the truck race. I'm going to go ahead and say that Kyle Busch is going to win. He's in this race, so obviously I got to pick him.
You stole my pick, Mike. Come on. But yeah, I picked Kyle Busch too to win the truck race. And Xfinity race, even though I picked him the last 2 weeks, I'm going to say Noah Gragson wins the Xfinity race. Why not? I mean, he's won here before at Charlotte.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Daniel Hemrick wins. He's been having a rough season, so maybe he can turn it around. He's pretty good at these 1.5 mile tracks. And for the Cup race, just to get into it a little bit, I hope that it is not boring like last year. The Coke 600 should not at all be boring, and it was very, very boring last year. But I'm going to go with Kyle Larson winning it.
Wow, back to back. Well, I will say this. I think the Hemrick pick you did for Xfinity race is definitely, I think picking him is a really solid selection, because he's done well at Charlotte before in tracks like Charlotte. So that's a good one. But for a Cup race, I will be there. And thankfully, I'm glad I got my tickets before they sold out. From what I heard, every single grandstand ticket has been sold out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got the tickets when I did. But I really hope it's a good race. I think it will be. I just think there'll probably be a lot of chaotic things. We'll probably see a good bit of tire issues, unfortunately. And hopefully the weather isn't too hot either, because it's been in the 90s last week up here in Charlotte, and it'll probably be another hot one this weekend. But it's hard to go against Hendrick. They dominated last season at in the Coca-Cola 600. Kyle Larson ran away for most of the race, but I'm gonna go with another Hendrick driver. I have to go with Hendrick. It's their home track, basically. They dominate, and as we mentioned, Chevrolet is the winningest manufacturer at the track. I'm going Chase Elliott to win the Coca-Cola 600.
Interesting pick. All right, I got a bonus pick. There's the Indy 500 this weekend as well.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Now, I have two picks for this one. My main pick, Alex Palou. He did great last season. Now, I'm not a big IndyCar guy. I watch the races when I can, but it's not something that I completely seek out like I do for NASCAR. But watching the Indy 500 last year, which is an amazing race, if you guys don't watch the Indy 500, please go ahead and watch the Indy 500. It is an amazing race every single year. Alex Palou dominated the race, and that battle he had with Helio Castroneves last year for the win was absolutely insane. So I think he's going to win it. But if he doesn't win it, my dark horse pick is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson has shown so much speed here last year or this year. He's running it for the first ever time. I can't wait to see him run it. I think he'll do very well. So we'll see what happens. Jimmy's won here before in NASCAR, so let's see if he can win it in IndyCar. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I will say, Mike, that I think it's a stretch to pick Jimmy Johnson. Now, he is my favorite driver, but he just started with IndyCar. I do not see him winning the Indy 500 as much as I would like him to. I just don't think that's realistic. But I will say it's kind of hard to pick a winner for the Indy 500. I love the Indy 500. It's definitely one of the most iconic sporting events every year. And it's really hard to choose because the last couple of years there's been different winners. It's not been like guys going back to back. It's just been different people. Like Rossi is always a favorite, but the last couple of years he just hasn't been able to get done. Something has happened. And with Helio Castroneves, he won, if I'm correct, last year. Did he win last year?
He did.
Yeah. So he's back in it. I'm gonna go with the surprising one here. This guy, I really hope that he can win again soon. Ed Carpenter, I think, wins this year's Indy 500.
Whoa! I mean, Ed Carpenter is always up there, but it's a little bit of a shock because he's had some bad luck too, like Rossi. But
yeah.
But anyways, with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials, and we will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to join the official Nasboys Fantasy League. Bye.
All right, see y'all.
You only calling night, you wanted what I think. All these women lie, push me to the brink. You only calling night, after Kelly's or the drink. You only calling night, and you want